Black content on the internet has become so pervasive that it's gotten its own title, its own category. And sometimes it can produce some very good things with very knowledgeable people with, very good insights. But oftentimes, and with the way that it's viewed today, it breeds nothing but disgust. What's going on, everybody? Look, we've got to get into the meat and the potatoes truly on this channel about black content and how it's destroying people. Of course, we're talking about the smash or passes, the public interviews, the 20v1s, the sexualizing kids, the Cash App scams. I don't know how these things can go on much longer, especially with the hypersexualization, which is going to bring me to our first stop. It's Deshae Frost. Now, most people don't know this, but Deshae Frost is an actual actor. When he was younger, he used to be in actual television shows and have actual roles. So content, the idea of being professional shouldn't be anything new to him, yet when he's gotten into the streaming world, he's become everything but, to be honest. Now, I will say it is kudos to Deshae Frost for staying relevant for as long as he's stayed relevant. There are a lot of people who went from child acting to being adults and can't find any sort of foothold. No disrespect, but kind of like a Scott Jackson. So it's very credible to him that he's able to stay around, be in some sort of public eye, mainstream media and all that stuff. So a round of applause for Deshae Frost. However, if it means that he's gonna do things like this, then I think that we have to maybe talk about him a little bit closer.
All right, come on, turn the camera on me.
Now, I don't even know how much of these streams and content clips that I can really put out there because honestly, it's nothing but pornography. Like, it is the most softcore pornography that you can possibly get, and he is pushing Twitch streaming, Kick streaming, and all these other platforms, YouTube, to its fullest boundary. There's not even any entertainment in this. He's not being subtle. Honestly, some would even say it looks like he's crashing out, to be honest with you. Who thinks it's a good idea to get head on stream?
I'm Ruby Heat.
Ruby.
That's your first name? Like all together, Ruby Heat?
That's my stage name.
Like the
Caitlin.
bright sun.
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Okay, Bryson and Caitlin take. Can we see your toes real quick? Can you, your shoes and all your
Disgusting.
little
That is
ass
disgusting.
thing, you know what I'm saying?
And don't get me wrong, sex is good, but it's not content on these public platforms where a lot of children can consume your content. Start an OnlyFans, start a Patreon, maybe put it behind some sort of a paywall or something like that. This is not something that, one, we should deem as just content, and two, that kids should be consuming. And I do kind of start to hate the notion of, oh, well, adults should be able to watch what their kids are doing. But when we do stuff like this, we have to hold people accountable. And I wish it was a one-off, but no, he's done this several times on his stream. Oh
my God. She tracing my shit.
We got to talk about why these platforms aren't taking this more seriously. I guess because there's nothing really explicit there, but I will say there was one stream where there was a nipple actually shown, but it's kind of clear what he's doing here. And even if there was some sort of warning ban or whatever the case may be for what's going on with Deshae right now, I don't think anybody would have any problems with him getting suspended and not being on here. Nobody's trying to see him get head on the platform. And if you are, go to Cornhub, dog. And this is getting to the point where other content creators are calling him out on his actions and his behaviors. We saw Bruce Dropamoff call him a COON on his Twitter account and goes on to say, if you gotta use sex or hypersexual towards women to make niggas laugh on stream, quit streaming, you suck. And I'm so serious, fight me about it. Now, I don't think that you have to be the most religious streamer or always educational or whatever the case may be, but shock value streamers and content creators to me aren't real content creators or streamers. People aren't really looking for you. They aren't looking for your personality, your insight, your wisdom, your comedy, whatever you have to offer other than seeing you put yourself in embarrassing, life-threatening, hypersexual situations. And so when Deshae responds to these things, because these accusations have a lot of merit from Bruce Dropamoff, which I'm glad somebody's calling him out, he can only point to other things in his explanation that, quite frankly, have nothing to do with what we're talking about here.
You're trying to fucking get and go at every streamer, dude, and that shit is not working. You try to do XQC with the fucking watch shit. You're tweaking out, bro. Put down the perks. But real shit though, bro, might want to chill out, bro. We're both in Atlanta, bro. It seems like you're just talk, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. You're just talk. We see you try to rekindle everything, bro. You're in this shit by yourself, brother. You're getting passed around like one of these hoes. I'm not gonna lie. And keep having that Asian girl make you ham sandwiches and white rice, okay?
And so I thought about it. Does Deshae have any merit in what he's saying? But that thought really only lasted for 2.5 seconds. First and foremost, Bruce Dropamoff has been doing this well longer than you have. We're talking about streaming and content creating on the internet. Granted, you were an actor when you were a child, but this is a whole different lane. Two, you didn't address anything that was said, and it's not just being said about him. People on the internet are starting to catch on to what you're doing. You using your YouTube to sexualize your sister with videos about her having a BBL and my mom must be stopped, blurring out her images and stuff like that, alluding to the fact that there's something X-rated underneath this. Using your family in order to get views by sexualizing them is the sign of somebody who is totally weird and out of touch with what normal people like to see. Him starting to make his channel into a pseudo OnlyFans platform by bringing these corn stars and having them do sexualized things on it, just, it can only be described as weird.
Bite it? Yeah. I'll bite that motherfucker.
And I told you to buy it, so buy it.
Ah!
Why are you taking so long?
Ah! That bitch tastes good!
And while Deshae's content is weird, we're talking about black content as a whole. So when I see clips on TikTok of a guy named David doing a charity auction where they're bidding on girls, which is very reminiscent of slavery, I again have to question, why are we doing these things in 2024, specifically as black people?
What time? Wait, 120 and 25 cents. 120, 25 cents.
And while I get it that that's a normal traditional thing that they do in college, bidding on dates and stuff like that in order to raise money and awareness towards some good deed or whatever the case may be, it's never sat right to me when black people did it, participated in it, or any type of thing, whether it was the bidder, whether it was the person being auctioned, or any combination of those things, only because of what we've experienced in the past when it comes to slavery. This is very disgusting. Black people shouldn't be auctioned out, no way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't care who you're giving the money to. There has to be a different way in order to raise money and awareness. And now the fact that people are putting this on the platforms is just disgusting. Now, if you didn't think that that was very slavery coded or reminiscent of it, these 20v1s have to be close to it. I kid you not, especially when they bring these rappers on here or even hell, these kids on here and get real disrespectful or weird with the women. It just doesn't sit right with me.
Introducing the first female, man. Let's do it.
Hi, I'm Trendsetter.
Trendsetter?
Yeah, I'm from Haiti.
From Haiti?
Yeah.
Let me get 360 real quick. You know I gotta start it all right, girl.
Now, mind you, she's saying, I don't know why you're doing yes or no at his age, but she's the one going on the show knowing that little Tyler is gonna be on the show. Now, do I excuse little Tyler for sexualizing her? No, I think that this whole experience is weird. But the age thing is very strange because, like I said earlier, they've even brought kids on their platform before to do a same thing in Little RT.
Hey, that's where to stay.
We're sitting here having this little kid auction off his mother in order for other people to become the suitor of her. If I have to sit here and explain what's wrong with that, and when we go on these people's channels, it's 3 different channels, all the same thumbnail style, all in that white room. Some of them even do it on the same exact day. And we talked about on this channel how these things can be more sexually charged with each and every passing, because the one that JP did was so disgusting. But the only thing that I could think that becomes more disgusting and more cringe than that is the public interviews. And I've always hated public interviews because these people aren't even asking to be bothered, yet you have dudes walking up to them asking them a simple question, because I know that's how they draw them in, and then turning it into this whole weird engagement.
Girl, you know you want to talk. Look at you smiling and shit with that cute ass smile.
Yo, back up, you too close.
No, listen.
Nah. I've been taking too many L's, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, please.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, I got suspended out of school for something just like that, where I walked up on a young woman and kind of got in her ear. It was a crazy time. I was young Omar, I didn't know any better. But seeing that now with my adult brain, my fully formed brain, I can see why that's wrong, and I can see that it's disgusting, especially because she told him to back up. The thing that's the most interesting to me in all these pieces of content is the simple fact that everything has to be made sexual. Nothing about these public interviews, smasher passes, 20v1s, whatever the case may be, can be done without some sort of sexualization in it.
I'm here with today. For you today is, could you stick your hands in your pants and let me smell your balls?
Ultimately, what's the long game for these content creators? When you're doing stuff like this for the shock value, I don't even know her name. I don't know any of these people's names who are getting sexualized. Of course, they'll flash their Instagram handles or whatever the case may be, but who does things like this? And do you think that they're gonna stick around? Are you gonna continue to make this content in your 20s, throughout your 20s, into your 30s and 40s? You need a job for tomorrow. And also, if you think that you can blow up to be the heights of the content creators that you look at and strive to be, the Kai Cenats or, you know, the DDGs or the agents or the Duke Dennises of the world, there's no way that you can go down this original path and then think that you can fumble that into stuff like a Fortnite deal or a branding sponsorship with Nike based off of this being your path. I don't even think that they're getting good content creation etiquette when they do things like this, because there's no complex editing, there's no thing about thumbnails because they're all the same. Hell, even their basic audio setups are fucked up in these clips. So they're not getting any practical experience out of this. They're just doing this for shock value and to have their name slung across the internet. A couple of Instagram likes for validation, maybe be some shock value views, but their CPMs and RPMs are in the fucking floor. They're not getting the proper traffic. The women are getting objectified. The men are being disgusting. There's no longevity in these things that makes people say, you know what, this is a full-on career path. And I know that there's a graphic out there that says how many kids want to become content creators when they grow up, but I'm here to tell you that that is not the way to go about doing it. That's not true content. This is borderline pornography, sicko behavior, and stuff that'll only get you remembered as being some sort of object piece for people to laugh and point fingers at. If you're gonna look for creativity and become a content creator, look at Kai Cenat. Please don't look at these people on these channels. Let me know what you guys think though. Is black content in the dirt? Shout out some names of some good black content creators while you're down in the comments, because we need a palate cleanse ASAP.